What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap and live phone call Friday coming to you guys in about 15 minutes. So very excited for that. Lakers, they took care of business, all right? We beat the Orlando Tragic, but we almost tragically lost had we kept with the same effort in the first half. But thank God the Lakers pulled this one out, man. Thank God the Lakers pulled this one out because had we not won this game tonight, I would this post-game recap would look a lot like a funeral for my hopes and dreams. And so I'm so happy we won, but at the same time, not satisfied because we played a horrible first half. And I thought the Lakers were getting ready to shoot Frank Vogel out of a cannon at the halftime. They came back. I don't know what was said to them, what was promised. I don't know, Pizza Planet or something. But they came out, different energy, different effort. Finally, a sense of urgency, better body language in the second half, and they took care of business, man. Listen, that's the bottom line. This team, no matter what, they have to find ways to beat these garbage ass teams, man. 8 wins in the season, the Orlando Tragic, and we almost lost to them, guys. Thank God they woke up because, seriously, like I said, had we lost this game, this would have looked very much like a funeral for my hopes and dreams. All right. And that's the bottom line. Not going to get too hyped about the Magic. I agree, Blake Beats. One, because we end up winning these games sometimes, and then we turn around and then screw the pooch on the next game. Can't have that. However, there were some positives in this game for sure. I mean, let's start with the unsung hero of the game, Carmelo Anthony. I mean, this man probably bought some stock in Orlando or something because my man dropped 23 points looking like home court Melo, probably looking for a beach vacation home in Orlando. Stanley Johnson was exceptional with his phenomenal defense, and he knocked down some huge timely buckets to make that run in the third quarter. Malik Monk, 10 again off the bench. Avery Bradley, 9. 29 for King James, continues his MVP campaign. And 18 for Russ with 7 assists, 11 rebounds. Not a bad Russ today. Not a bad game at all. So, listen, the Lakers got to be better. Bottom line, happy with the win, not satisfied. We still got to, I still think the coach got to go, man. At the halftime, it looked like nobody was playing for Frank. That's at least to me. But luckily for Frank, they got the win. My boy said we need prime Steve Blake, Jody Meeks, and Andre Ingram and trade Ross. Stat. Appreciate you, Angel. We need something, man. We need Jesus at this point of the season because we barely beaten these teams. And yeah, we turned it on in the second half, but this should have been a 48-minute game effort because you never know. What if they would have came out hot in the third quarter and matched our energy? They would have kept it leading. Who knows what happens in the fourth? So luckily, they stepped up defensively and offensively in that third quarter, and they executed in the fourth. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony for staying hot off the bench. We needed that little spark. My boy said need to allow trading coaches in the new CBA. I think is there trading coaches? Can somebody answer that for my boy Angel? Thanks, Angel. Appreciate you, bro. I think there is. I remember Doc Rivers getting traded at one point, right? Wasn't it? I could have sworn. My boy Alan, what's up, man? Appreciate you. He said, let's go, Dan. Sunday, I'm going to watch the Lakers. Hey, brother, hopefully you bring good luck to the Lakers, man. That's what's up, brother. I'm glad you're getting to watch the Lakers. Hopefully they got to turn this shit around, bro. I'm still not happy with the Lakers only playing one half, Only a one-half team. We've been that for the majority of the season. And then if you noticed, when Dwight Howard went out again tonight when he was in foul trouble, this is why I keep advocating to either trade or sign a big man because they were exploiting us when we went small in that first half because Dwight was in foul trouble. Lakers adjusted. Stanley Johnson panned out tonight. But again, every night it's not going to go the same. So Melo went off. LeBron continues to do his crazy thing, man. And in the first half, I was concerned. We only had 6 assists. I was like, it's one thing if we lose trust in the coaching staff, but it's a whole other thing if the Lakers lose trust in each other. And so I was really disappointed with the first half and pleasantly surprised with the second. Bottom line, we get the victory, right? That's the bottom line. And now I'm about to take you guys' phone calls because it's been like a month, right, since I was sick last couple of weeks. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines and see what Laker Nation thinks, man, about this team. I know you guys aren't satisfied with the effort or none of that. But what do you guys think need to happen moving forward? Do you guys want Frank Vogel, or are you advocating against Frank or versus or with him? I want to know what Laker Nation thinks. Let's take the first caller of the day. What's up, man? Hello? You there, buddy?
Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, how you been, man? Where you calling in from, brother?
LA.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. What you got for me today, man? You happy with this win? How you feeling?
I'm a little satisfied though, but I felt like given how the Magic are a lottery team, I felt like the Lakers should have blown them out at 20 and up. That's just my take.
Right.
They should
Well,
have done better.
at this point, I'll take what we can get as long as we win. Right. I'm happy with the win, but I still see so many areas where this team is lacking tremendously, man. Are you pro or anti Vogel?
I'm I'm kind of in between, but I'm pretty much just I'm not big on Vogel because as you said before, he does make a few controversial decisions, like going small, especially since like
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Should we fire Frank, or do you think they should ride with him till at least the end of the season? What is your opinion on that? I really want to know what Laker fans think. That's why I asked.
I mean I would fire him, but like yeah, I would fire him because just given how there were a couple winnable games though, and that's not what Lakers want. Like we need to beat games that are winnable, the teams that are not doing very well, and that's what we need. Like we need a coach that got passion, that has the you know what to bench Russell Westbrook when he's doing horrible.
Right. And you got anybody in mind, or just somebody that you think will improve the team, or no?
I don't have nobody in mind, but yeah, let's see what coach comes out.
For sure, brother. For sure. Any final words for Laker Nation, man? Got to keep it moving because we got callers on the line.
No,
All
I
right.
just am saying, yeah, thank you
For sure,
thank
but
you.
for sure, buddy. Hey, no problem, man. Thanks so much for the call. All right, next caller. Let's try to get our point across a little bit quicker, guys, because we got a lot of callers on the line. What's up, man? You on live?
Hey, Dan, how's it going, man?
It's gone, brother. It's gone. We got the win. We survived the night. That's how I feel right now.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm happy about it.
Right, right. What'd you see? What'd you see tonight, man? Talk to me.
Well, you know, it was nice to get the win. I'm glad we beat the Magic. I was hoping we would. If we didn't, I think that would be pretty ridiculous.
Right.
But I hate to be negative, but I got to say Frank Vogel's still got to go, man.
I agree. I
don't
100%
know
agree.
who exactly to replace him with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
I'm not too familiar with coaches, so I don't really know who to replace him with. I was looking into Avery Johnson.
Right.
He looked good.
Okay.
But bottom line, he's got to go. Just like you said.
Absolutely.
Questionable rotations. Not playing starting Avery Bradley over Monk. Not playing Stanley Johnson enough. I don't get what he's doing. So I think getting a new coach in there, kind of freshen things up, I think it'll be good for the team. But I think they have to start there.
Right.
Go from there.
I listen. I 110% agree with you. I think. Listen, people. There's a lot of people out there saying it's not Frank's fault. It's the front office fault. The team they put together, and also, the players don't want to play for Frank. So, but I do think he shares a pretty large sum of the pie, right? As far as the blame goes.
Oh,
yeah. So you got to start somewhere. Now, I'm not saying that's the end of what we should do, but I agree with you. I think you start there. You move the coach. You move on from the coach. Hopefully you get an upgrade. Hopefully. Cross your fingers that you get an upgrade.
Hopefully.
And then you look to make trades before February 10th. But the reason I'm so, I continue to persist on my stance, and I'm not going to change it unless we go on a 10-game win streak. The reason why is because this coach and this coaching staff hasn't shown me the ability to change, right? As far as, getting off of what's not working and trying to turn the corner. Right. So for those reasons, I absolutely agree, man. Any other points you want to make, brother?
That's really the main one. I definitely just wanted to get on and talk to you about Frank Vogel. But yeah, basically, just like you said, I understand it's not all Vogel's fault, and there's lots of problems with this team. But I think you got to start there, just like you said, and then start making trades and go from there. Just like start somewhere to let these guys know
Absolutely.
changes are going to be made. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, we got to start turning the page on all this horrible, stench for losing. It gets to the point where it takes over the locker room and it's nothing but negativity. Everybody knows winning cures everything, right? But you can't win if you don't make changes, right?
Exactly, and he's just not making the proper changes. To me, there's obvious moves he could make, put certain players in, and he's just not doing it. And he's taking forever to make adjustments at all. I think we need a fresh face in there.
Absolutely, man.
Not Bizdale.
Right. No, I agree. No, when Coach Frank Vogel went down with his sickness, Fizdale was less impressive, in my opinion, than Frank Vogel.
Yeah, seriously. I had hopes for him, but no, I was back. I was actually happy to see Vogel come back. That's
right?
How bad it was, you know what I mean?
That's how bad it was. Right. Absolutely. Thanks so much for the call. What was your name again, brother?
My name's Josh. I'd like to call again. This is my first time calling in.
Awesome, brother. Thanks so much for the call, man, and thanks for joining the Lakers family. I appreciate you, man.
Of course, man. Thanks, too. Have a good night, bro.
You too, brother. You too. Peace out.
Thanks, Take it easy.
All right. That was a great call. Got it to his points. We need to continue to make these type of calls, man, so more people can get through the line, because I always get complaints at the end of the night that the calls took too long. So I love it. Straight to the point and out. All right, next caller. Let's see who's on the line. What's up, man? You're on live with Laker Nation.
Hi, Dan. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing better. Now that we won.
This is Rob G. Man, I'm so happy that we won this game finally. Something.
Absolutely.
I agree with my man who was just on the phone, man. They need to let Vogel go.
Absolutely. I mean, can you pinpoint any particular reasons you feel this way?
It's not just because of the lineups. It's just the chemistry, it's the energy. The whole relationship of the Lakers is just not going well. It's something off. There's no relationship between the coach and the players. And
right.
You can see
it. Do you think it's because Do you think it's because Frank Vogel lacks that authority or that grittiness you need from a coach?
Actually, I think he's too soft for them.
Right.
And I'll give you a reason why. He sees the weaknesses of each player.
Right.
He knows their strengths. He knows their weaknesses. But when you listen to him with the post interviews and all of that, you could tell he's not talking to them.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
He's not talking to them because everybody knows that Russ is not a shooter.
Right.
Everybody knows that his actual strong point is the post area. When he's serious and locked in, that's his strong point.
Or when he changes gears and comes down in transition, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious. Everybody knows that.
Right.
But he doesn't put him in the like Russ said before. He's like, I don't know what to do because I'm getting information from everybody.
Yeah, man. The word that comes to mind when we talk about Frank Vogel for me is pushover. I feel like Frank Vogel's a pushover, and I feel like he doesn't assert himself in the locker room. Listen, basically our leader is LeBron James. He's the coach. He's the best player we have. And when that happens, it's like they don't follow what the coach says. They follow what LeBron says, and that's okay when you're on the court, but when you're off the court and when you're making personnel decisions, everybody should respect that, right? If you're a good, respectable coach. And you can tell, you can tell when Frank Vogel makes a certain decision, he has to go and ask for permission, and and the players aren't with it, Like they asked Russell if he was disappointed he was benched. His answer should have been, well, whatever the coach needs from me, I'm fine with that, But instead it was disappointment. So
see, this stems from the Lakers. When we had an opportunity to get the right coach, we didn't.
Right.
I thought personally, I don't know if other fans thought, but I thought as a Lakers fan, Ty Lue should have been in that position.
Right.
Because we saw what he did with LeBron. We saw how he controlled the narratives with LeBron and Kyrie. He took possession of that. So it's like you would have assumed that they would have went for him because of the experience, all of the experience.
But you know what I think it was, man? I think that was more of a power struggle between the front office and LeBron James. Meaning, okay, we'll do certain things you want, LeBron, but we're going to hire the coach we want. and everybody has to be on the same page. You got to forget about the power struggle, and in order to be a successful franchise, you got to be on the same page with your front office, with your players, and your coaching staff. And it just seems like everybody is, in their own lane, operating from their own lane.
Well, to my last point, think of it like this: LeBron, if we knew that the torch was going to be passed to AD, and they're like, "Yo, AD, this is your year. Why not put the pieces around AD?"
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That goes to show you who was in possession of it the whole time. Why not put the pieces around AD? Because
Absolutely.
if he's your guy and LeBron James is eventually leaving out, then you want to put the right pieces in front of him.
That's a good point. And at some point, you have to start building towards the future as well, right? You got to get some more youth in there. You got to get some solid foundation moving forward. I agree with you, man. Hey,
we needed DeMar DeRozan, we needed Caruso, we needed Buddy Hield. Those were guys that we should have got.
Right.
But to each his own.
Absolutely. Hey, what was your name again, brother?
Thank you.
Rob. That's right. All right, cool, man. Hey, I appreciate the call, man. I believe this is your first time calling in. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
All right, Dad, man. Glad you're better.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. God bless.
God bless.
All right. Hey, that was a great call. He made a couple of interesting points about the front office potentially, having dropped the ball a little bit. Let me answer a couple of your questions before I take the next call, and I'll put the number on the line. My boy Angel said, if the front office rumors are true, I blame them too, because fearing a LeBron takeover is toxic. That's a good point. Yes. Listen, everybody gets, in my opinion, a pretty, decent sized slice of the pie, because it's not one problem that the current Laker roster has. Yes, the coaching staff is a huge problem for me, but that's a start. Like previous caller said, this is what we want to start with, but it's not the end game, right? The end game is not just firing coach and everything's going to automatically fix itself. Let me give you guys a number to call in again. Phone's already blowing up, so I'll take your call in just a minute. Somebody asked me earlier what app I was using to answer calls. It's called Text Now. It gives you a burner phone, right? And when you're not using the app, you can shut it off so that it's not blowing up your phone. All right, moving on to the next caller right now. Let's see who we got on the line. Hey, what's up, man? You on live?
Yeah. So this is the guy for United States of America. So my thing about the coach is that we should get somebody with the passion for the game of the somebody that has the anger of the like the rules. It's not plus the best people think it's not about friendship league. It's like some type of the competitive league. It's not about the hey, would you want to play with me? So I should pay you couple $1,000 to come to play with you. This basketball is not friendship league.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you want a coach that can command the respect of the locker room, right? And the players got to play harder, especially for the amount of money that they're getting paid, like Russell Westbrook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, brother. Hey, I commend you, man. I always love it when you call, bro. You get your message out, and you're an inspiration, buddy. I appreciate your call, man. All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, man. God bless you, brother. Have a good one. Hey, listen, great comment. Great comment by my guy right here. Um, you know, it might some people struggle a little bit to talk, and that's okay. The bravery from him to call into the live stream with hundreds of people watching, man, you gotta love it. Valid point. Valid point. Okay, listen, we pay these players tons of money to come and play for the Lakers. All right, tons of money to come and play for the Lakers, and they have to play their heart out. And they have to sacrifice for the team, just like my guy said. And so, absolutely agree with him, man. Let's move on to the next caller, though. Got to make it kind of quick. Let's see who's on the line.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. First and foremost, I want to set much love to that last caller, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, it's great, man. I'm just fans from all facets come out. So, I'm just gonna be inspirational, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, the bravery for somebody who struggles with any sort of inability or ability, for them to be able to come on a platform like this and express themselves is admirable, man. It's commendable. So I welcome those calls anytime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, real quick, I saw again much better effort, but it might be an aberration or something like that. They got to show us a lot more. And we still waiting for Dan to get to you, for all of us to get to you, also can get Frank out of the building and his coaching staff as well.
Right.
I was thinking about that trade that you were talking about earlier, the John Wall for Rush trade. You're absolutely right. The Rockets are in no position to ask us for a first round pick for a player that they're not going to play anyway, for us to take on a contract for a player that's less than the player that we're trying to give up.
Hey, listen, absolutely, bro. You're absolutely 110% correct. I've always realized that when everybody's trying to trade with the Lakers, they're trying to rip us off. If you're looking back at the trade for Russell Westbrook, we gave up a lot. We gave up a first round pick and 3 really good role players, really good ones. So you're right. And if you notice, other teams might, if somebody else was trying to trade Russell Westbrook, they probably would have did it straight up, John Wall for Russ. It would have been a fair trade, right? But this team is asking for a first round pick from us, and who knows what else they're asking for. So, yeah, I'm not sure I'd do it.
Mm-hmm. I got you. So real quick, I want, because I know you might have a couple more callers too.
Go ahead.
I got a couple of players that I know that can help me at this team, because I love defensive teams and all that. That's just me. I love offense. I love that. It's great offense. I love defensive teams. So real quick, I would do the trade for John Wall, but not for the price that they're asking. I would legit just do either at most 2 second round picks in Russ for John Wall, or John Wall and Russ straight up. That's it.
Facts.
No THT or nothing like that. Second of all, I'm gonna knock on the Pacers' door, since we gave them a win on the last game, and see what's good with Miles Turner. Trade THT, Kendrick Nunn, and I would say maybe DeAndre Jordan, if they'll take him as a filler or something like that.
Well, my only question to you about that one is, are you still willing to offer that package for a Miles Turner who has a stress fracture, from what I'm hearing, on the left foot? Because that might impact his actual play style, or it could even sideline him for an extended period of time. That's not a good injury to have. Yeah.
Stress fractures is big, man. But we had it fine. And y'all may as well. We have a big man that has a stress fracture like that, putting all that weight down, jumping. And he's an athletic big as well.
Right.
It's going to be very problematic too. So, but that could be negotiable. But just kind of putting it out there. So Miles Turner on the Lakers as well. And here's a name that I don't think anybody's ever thinking of. I have a preferred replacement for Alex Caruso. He's a free agent right now. His name's Chris Dunn. He can defend 1 through 3.
Wow, I was not aware Chris Dunn was a free agent. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about a lottery pick a couple years back. That's crazy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, number 5 pick, I believe, I'm from 2016
Right.
I got you.
Hey, appreciate the call, brother. Hey, listen, Serge Ibaka, if he does get bought out, even though he's been injured recently, I'd definitely take a flyer on him just because he's a big body who can space the floor and do some things when he's healthy. So that's not a bad idea, you know? But we'll see what happens moving forward, brother. Thanks so much for the call, all right?
Yes, sir. Be blessed, man. Thanks.
All right, thank you, brother. All right, guys. The only thing I will suggest if you're like in the car or you have me on speaker, just move it a little bit closer to your mouth because sometimes we can't hear. I know some of the people in the comment section were saying they couldn't hear the last caller, so I'll just suggest like trying to speak up as clear as possible. And if you're kind of far away from the phone, try to kind of get a little bit closer. But that was a great call. He suggested a couple of trade ideas. He said Chris Dunn was a free agent. I wasn't aware of that. He said, you know, he's a nice 3-and-D guy. My only thing about Chris Dunn is he's kind of a guard, and we have plenty of those. So I'm not sure if he fits. However, you know, they go with the small ball, anything fits, to be honest. All right, let's take another caller right now. Let's see who's on the live chat. What's up, brother? You on live?
Dan, my man, with the master plan.
Hey, my guys, I know you're an OG, man. You remember the old song. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, man. Real quick, I'm gonna break something down real quick. I want to say that we should keep. Well, we have no choice. We need to keep Vogel. Just the simple fact that remember when LeBron first came to the Lakers, Magic said that he would have put ball handlers around him, right?
Right.
And so we kind of like didn't get no ball handlers. We put like AD around him, and then we put like you know, big guards and big long defenders and long wings.
Right.
You know, your Green, and you know, we had Kuzma, we had Caruso. So we were a defensive-minded team.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we won with that team, because those guys were super athletic. They were athletic, and they were defensive-minded players. Now, mind you, we didn't have that many guards around that. That year, we didn't have that many guards. We only had, I believe it was Rondo.
Right.
But remember, LeBron was running the point. So that year, defensively, we were really good. Like, we were really good. Offensively, we were great too. But defensively, we were at our best, especially in the playoffs. So the following year, remember, they said they wanted to build a team around AD. Right. Now, they wanted young guys. They wanted to get, help me out, what's his name? Schroeder. They wanted to put Schroeder around him because he fits the age gap or to get the age timeline. So they put more. This time, they actually put a ball handler in that system. So they took the ball out of LeBron, right? Now, listen, this year, LeBron is playing at his best.
Right.
Now, and the reason why I say all that is because, honestly, the system should still run in LeBron James' hands because he's still playing at a high level.
Right.
Like the year when we won our championship. So, meaning we need to recap that same year from 2019, put defensive-minded players around LeBron, not AD. Let's not worry about AD. As far as right now, it's still LeBron James' team, and he's still playing like it.
But I'm going to say one thing, brother, to add to your point. That you make a great point. That's all great. We might have made an over-adjustment and trying to get more offensive-minded players rather than, you know, stick with what was working. But to me, the biggest difference is that the year we won the championship, we were running a big lineup. I'm talking JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard at center, AD, LeBron, et cetera, right?
Good point.
That's to me is one of the things we've been lacking since we won the championship. Remember, the next year we traded away JaVale McGee, and we never were able to recoup after that because DeAndre Drummond didn't fit in, and even till now we're going small ball and it's not working. So this is what drives me crazy about the front office and the coaching staff. One of the biggest problems is that LeBron needs size on his team, right? We lost Kuzma, who was a 6'9", 6'10" defender. They can say whatever they want about his offense inconsistency, but defensively, he was there, right? And we haven't acquired many wings. Like you said, we went with a bunch of guards. So right now, Laker Nation is clamoring for two things, either a Miles Turner type of player or a big man who can defend like Mo Bamba or a Jeremy Grant, right?
Jeremy Grant.
So
I got that.
this is all to make up for what we've lost in the past. We're still reeling from that, right?
Right. It's right. Exactly. So you made a good point about, and see, that's what I was trying to say. Bigs, like we were a big team, and when I say big team, we had big wings. Like so, and I forgot about JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard because that they played a big part. But think about it. The reason why Frank Vogel defensive scheme was successful because we had those two dudes, right?
Right.
And we didn't, like you said, we never got back to that because we lost. JaVale was really the key in that system because he was our starter. Dwight Howard came off the bench. But to say all that, we can't really crush Vogel, even though his rotations has forever been horrible. Forever. You know what I'm saying? We know that. You know what I'm saying? It took him the last game of the NBA Finals to finally put Caruso in the game.
And that to your point, and this is why I agree to disagree with you. You make great points. Everything you said is on point. You're not wrong. However, I disagree that we can blame Vogel because remember, even the next season, after we saw Alex Caruso dominate in that final game of the finals, and the impact he actually made, that was the biggest blowout of the whole series. The impact he made defensively, we were like, okay, that's it. Next season, he's got to start, right? The dynamic between him and LeBron was golden. And we were like, that is the adjustment. He found the lineup. Guess what Frank Vogel does next season? Benches him, right?
I know. I see where
and
you're going.
Same thing with Malik Monk. Just a month ago, we were talking about how he should never go to the bench again after the month he had. What does he do again? He benches him. Stanley Johnson, 4-game win streak.
Even the game where when Carmelo came back and Carmelo stunk up the fourth quarter, he stunk up the whole place. The game before that, Stanley Johnson had a breakout game at the Staples Center.
Right.
Crypto.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he only played, I think he played about 14 minutes, and then he brought him back in the game when we were actually losing the game.
Right.
Now, Frank, you're right. Frank Vogel questions sometimes. But at the end of the day, when you put players around this guy, he knows how to coach defense. Now, I get you out. Listen, Dan, there's nobody else out there that we can get, bro. Nobody that's going to be able to change this team. So in order for us to fix this open wound that we have now is to get some wings out there and get younger guys. We got to get younger.
Now, that definitely will help Frank Vogel's system. I agree with you there. But the only reason I disagree with you overall with your point is because we have a different problem. And it's really not the defense. You know what our biggest problem is besides Frank Vogel, who's, by the way, to me, 50% of the pie goes to Frank, the blame chart. Yeah. The other biggest problem we have is Russell Westbrook. Acquiring him messed up everything from rotations.
But that's not Vogel's fault, though.
No, I know. But what I'm telling you is this, and the reason I bring that up is because when you have ego the size of Russell Westbrook, you need a coach that he can respect. If you want to be successful, And so
I agree with all that.
The defense and all that, that's great. Offensively, his schemes have never worked. His rotations have always been trash. You said it yourself. I agree. Defensively, when he gets the right pieces, like you said, except I feel like he has plenty of good defensive pieces that he's misutilizing on the roster. Now,
yeah, I heard you say that. I heard you say that the other day.
Now, listen, let me tell you something. If I was coaching the team right now and my team is lacking on defense, I'm coming out with this starting lineup. Hear me out.
Okay, I hear you. Yep.
Center, Dwight Howard. When Anthony Davis comes back, Anthony Davis. But for now, Stanley Johnson at power forward. LeBron James, Malik Monk, and Avery Bradley at the point guard. But really, LeBron will run the point guard. I'm benching Russell Westbrook because it does two things, man. Number one, it put you, like you said, it puts the ball back in the hands of LeBron, which is how we won the championship.
Exactly.
I agree with that. I said it the other night. Number two thing it does, it unleashes Russell Westbrook to go and play his game however he wants off the bench, just like Carmelo is. Right?
No, I hear you. That's the lineup that I will definitely run. That's a playoff lineup.
Right.
And what I think they're trying to do is, have you noticed they're trying to, like, lately? I'm gonna go in a minute because I know everybody's been waiting.
You're good, brother. You're making good points. Go ahead.
Vogel is trying. He's trying a different shifts. Like in the shifts, he's trying something different. He's trying to bring in the older guys to start the game, and then he's trying to bring the younger guys in the second shift. And I think it should be vice versa. I think he should bring the younger guys in first to speed the game up, right?
Right.
Get out in front of teams, and then bring the older guys in to kind of like slow down the game and keep a lead. You know what I'm saying? So with the younger guys, they will get a lead, but with the second shift, bring the older players in to keep the lead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to pay attention to that. I promise you, that's where he's kind of going. That's why they started Trevor Ariza instead of Stanley Johnson.
Well, my only thing I would say is why not find a blend of veterans and youth that play well together, right?
Because you know why I'm gonna say that, Dan? Because the defensive assignments are going to be bad. Everybody's going to be looking at each other like, oh, this is you. You're supposed to go over there. But if you put a whole bunch of young guys over there, they're going to be scattered. They're going to be flying around the court. They're going to be getting to loose balls. They're going to be getting tip interceptions, tip balls. They're going to be hustling.
But the problem is, if you put too many young guys on the court together, they will make mistakes eventually. You have to blend it in there. You got to have some. You have to have some veterans in there with the youth. I like our youth.
That's when you pull them.
I like our youth. But like I said, the starting lineup has to be dynamic. It has to bring good defensive effort. We have to be able to defensively clog the lane, block shots, get rebounds, do the dirty work. Dwight Howard, and it has to be able to space the floor. Somebody like Austin Reeves would be ideal. Somebody somebody that can actually consistently hit.
Right, and move the ball around.
And move the ball.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
He makes really good decisions.
And also somebody who fits in well with LeBron James. And this is where Austin Reeves reminds me a lot of Caruso, because when they're on the court together, they read each other really well. So I always look at that, and I say, you can start Kent Bazemore, but you can't start Austin Reeves a single game this season.
Yeah. I know, dog. It's questionable, dude. Frank Vogel, he's gonna be gone. He's gone after this year is up. They're just gonna ride. They're gonna ride with him. What they're gonna do is they're gonna give him players, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll give him the players that he wants, and the ball is gonna be in his court now. It's gonna be up to him. So, by the trade deadline, we're gonna have players around Vogel that's gonna fit his system, and it's gonna be up to him to make these rotation decisions and to coach these players up. Those
are awesome, respectable points, man. But I gotta say one last thing to counter what you just said. I don't believe, because this is, what do they call this? A players or a coaches league, right? Players league. So I don't believe we should ever build a team around a coach and his coach's system. Instead, I feel like a coach, if he was good enough, he would adapt to the players he has on the court. And
but Dan, you cannot take the season, brother. Like, I hear all that. We are in the middle of the season. So whatever that we have and whoever's on the team, we have to move those pieces around or keep those pieces, and because the head is not going nowhere.
But let me ask you this: if you rather hold on to the season as is, stand pat, and just let the ship sink. Let's just say we can't get any trades. You gonna allow this coach to just run us into the ground with the small ball BS, or
no. If we don't get the players, if they don't give the players for him, he got to go. Okay, now then we got to take the season. But
that's just the thing, brother. That's just the thing. As a fan, I don't want to build around a coach because, perfect example, Mike D'Antoni, system coach. They built around him, and what happened? As soon as he gets fired, you got a clean house, man. So it's going to be a waste. It's going to be a waste of talent, waste of assets, and he's not going to last very long anyway. So why build around the coach? Instead, get a coach who can adapt to the current roster, man. Throw me out there right now, and I'll do my best to throw the combinations that work best together.
That's really hard to do.
It's not
extremely. You're telling a coach to come in and come clean up my room. My room is
dirty,
but I need you to come.
You should be up to the challenge, man. It is a pleasure and an honor to coach a team like the Lakers.
I understand that, but until they actually get into that court, until they actually put the purple and gold on, it's a different type of weight, and a lot of these people can't adjust to it.
That's a good point.
And I noticed that with Westbrook, bro, he's not fit for this.
No,
he's not fit for the royalty, dog.
Right,
I see it.
But this is why you have to get a coach. George Karl went through the same struggle, man. He's not a superstar players coach. He struggles with superstar. He's good with young talent and players that have no egos. But when you get an inflated ego like Russell Westbrook, give me Jeff Van Gundy, man. Give me Avery Johnson. Give me somebody these players respect.
Avery Johnson. Yeah. I like that one.
You know, I've been saying it for over a month. We got to think outside the box. I'm tired of the Lakers getting ex-Laker coaches or just you know, guys that are good people like Frank. You know,
I don't want to recycle the same coaches
no.
like the NBA been doing. Like, let's get some other coaches in here that can really fix this thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man. I appreciate the call, man.
Thank you, man. Hey,
brother.
Great call. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, God bless, brother.
You too, brother. Have a good night, man.
You too, man. Peace.
See, I love calls like that because we pick each other's brain. We see it from two different standpoints. There's always different standpoints. You know, my opinion is not final. It's just an opinion. But a lot of times I will say my opinions are right. But it's not final. You know, you could be right, I could be wrong, or vice versa. But it's always good to pick each other's brains, especially with intellectual, you know, NBA fans, because they really understand the game, and you just feed off of that. So that was a great caller, man. Let's take the next one. What's up, brother? You on live?
What's up, Darren? This is Angel calling.
Angel, what's up, brother? How you been?
Good. Yourself, bro?
Good, man. Hey, we got the win, so I'm good today.
I feel you, man. I just want to say something real quick. I think you tweeted about it earlier today.
Right.
It was something about how you don't want to trade away Westbrook in the first from 2027 for John Wall.
Right.
Even though I feel John Wall would fit the scheme better for
Mm-hmm.
what we got going. But my thing is, like, I'm not a Rams fan, I'm a Steelers fan, but the way the Rams did it is they don't care about the first round draft pick because they're trying to win now.
Right. No, but let me tell you why. This is different though. This first round draft pick is different because it's not that we don't care about it, but it's one of the final assets we have to trade away. So after you trade this away, if you make the wrong trade, and this is why I don't want John Wall if the first round pick is involved. If you trade away that first round pick and John Wall ends up injured for the rest of his contract, now you have dead weight on the roster. At least Russell Westbrook can play and will have some sort of trade value in the future, especially as his contract nears, as it's about to expire. That becomes a very tradable contract because there's always teams out there that are just looking to have a like dead weight salary so that they can go into free agency the next summer, right? That's the only reason I said that, bro. Not because I don't like John Wall. I like John Wall. Like you said, I think John Wall might fit this team better, especially because he takes care of the basketball better, which is huge, right?
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I'm just saying because, like,
but if his health history was a little bit better, I would have said yes because you have a guaranteed hooper right there. But his injury history, man.
It's not even specific for the John Wall trade, but I'm just saying for that first round pick, for me, its value isn't as high as for other teams would.
But let me ask you this. What would you rather do? Would you rather sit on that first round draft pick? Because it actually does have value. Remember, the Lakers might not have as many stars in 2027. And if it's not a protected pick, then that might be a lottery pick. You never know.
Yeah, but this is the thing, man. For me, like, you've mentioned it a lot of times too, and I believe in the same thing. The Lakers have no issue drafting players.
Right. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is
and all these guys, you know what I mean, that they bring into the summer league roster and all that stuff. Finding the players isn't an issue. Because in terms of their farm system, they're kind of like the Dodgers.
Right.
They know who's good, they know who's going to come, and they know who's going to, like, just be a monster in terms of their role, being efficient, being like a good baller, fitting whatever system they got going at that time.
But my only point about that, bro.
First round pick is just to me, that first round pick, I'll trade it away for anything because, like I said, it's like what the Rams got going is the perfect buy-in system. They're trading away all their assets.
But check this out, brother. Check this out. What I'm trying to tell you is that the reason I don't agree with that, just trading away for anything, is because this could be the final piece we have to flip. When you have the final piece to flip outside of like young assets or whatever, you want to make sure you get the best return possible. That could be Jeremy Grant, Miles Turner, whatever player. What would you prefer? The deadweight salary potentially of a John Wall for Russell Westbrook, or would you prefer Jeremy Grant, somebody that could be the final piece of the puzzle to push you over the top for that first round pick?
I get what you're saying. I'm not saying trade the first round pick only for John Wall. I'm saying don't be too tied up into keeping the pick.
No,
I'm saying if the move fits, like for example, if the Kings are like, hey, we'll give you Buddy Hield for Austin Reeves in the first, or something like that. Like I'm making that move because we should have got Buddy Hield in the first place, over Westbrook. But at the end of the day, hindsight is 20/20. You know what I mean? If the Westbrook trade had panned out, nobody would be saying that.
Well, my only point was that you have to make sure that whatever deal you make is a deal that's going to benefit you, because this is the last chip you have for now that you can flip. And
no, I understand that too,
that's the only thing. Yeah, trust me, the Lakers are going to move that pick either this year or this summer at some point, because we're not a drafting type of team right now that we have LeBron. We're not rebuilding, right? So that makes sense. And like you said,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, and like you said, we can always replenish assets through the draft. I mean, Austin Reeves was undrafted, and he looks like a lottery pick at times. So all I'm saying is we have to make sure that the trade we make for that first round pick, because this is the last one we could trade in a couple years, is one that's worth trading, right? One that is worth.
No, yeah,
right.
I get you, man. I'm not saying trade it for just a bag of chips.
Right.
Obviously, if they're lowballing you, you're not gonna just throw it away just because you can.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, if we're going all in, putting all the chips on the table, do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The right moves are there.
Oh, yeah.
Not, like you said, plenty of times. It's either we're gonna keep buying in, or at this point, we're just gonna let LeBron and AD sell out the stadium, and we're gonna let LeBron get all the points, and that's how we're gonna, restart the franchise. Just pretty much let LeBron right out into the sunset, retire eventually, and then just try to rebuild the whole team around AD. Like I think 2 callers ago,
right?
Been already doing
that. No, that'll never happen. As long as we're the Lakers, they're never going to sit on their hands. The worst case scenario for me would just be if they do nothing during this trade deadline and they ride off into the playoffs with this current roster, because I don't think it's good enough to go very far. The way we're constructed,
it's too middle ground.
Right.
It's either it's not giving you. In terms of I guess draft capital or nothing like that. I'm not too sure if we have any first or seconds at all this year, just because we've been trading everything away. But in terms of middling, it's like in football. If you go like my Steelers, I would have rather not made the playoffs and went up the draft 2 picks instead of being number 20 or whatever.
Right.
Because I knew we weren't going to win the Super Bowl.
Right. Absolutely.
But then here we are, we make it, whatever, and then you just detriment the team 2 picks. And those 2 picks could be the difference in between a quarterback or just a lineman or whatever. In this case, it could be the difference between drafting Kuzma, I think it's 27 or whatever, going into the second round and somebody else takes Kuzma.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's like you said plenty of times. It's either you go all in or you start selling. And the only people you don't sell is LeBron and AD. Everybody else can go if you're selling.
Right.
If you're buying, you know what I mean? You gotta do anything you can to move that Westbrook contract off the books and get him off the team. Not because I hate him or nothing like that. It's just he just doesn't fit. I love Westbrook as a player. I'm not a Westbrook fan, but I don't hate the guy. Ever since KD did him dirty, but now I see why. But I don't have no reason to root against him besides him being on my team being a detriment.
Right.
Other than that, I just called to pretty much say, that first, if it's say it's $1. If it's buying me something in and out 4x4 with loaded fries or whatever for $1, give me that thing any day.
Right.
Giving me just a pack of salt, nah, man. It's better to keep it like you're saying. But,
absolutely. And you know what? There's nobody. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't want to trade that pick. As far as a Laker fan, I don't think there's anybody that's really saying let's hold on to that pick because we don't have no more picks. It's gonna get traded at some point. Bottom line. Maybe sooner rather than later, but we'll see.
All right, for sure. Cool, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate the call. Thank you, bro. His point is valid. I mean, nobody's holding on to the pick. That's for sure. I mean, is there any Laker fans in the chat right now that say, let's hold on to the pick? Because I really haven't spoke to none, nor should there be any, because at this point, we have to go all the way in. Buyers or sellers, right? If you're not going all the way in, then might as well trade LeBron and start all over now. But let's just hope we get a right package for that first pick, because I definitely don't want to include it in a John Wall deal. That's low reward, high risk type of move. Don't want to do that. All right, let's take another call. Hello, what's up? You on live?
Hello, Dan.
Yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going, man?
It's going
I
good,
didn't know
brother.
if I got through or not.
Yeah, you got through. You got
What's
through. You're
up?
on live right now.
Cool, man. Cool, man. Nice. Good game tonight, man, against Orlando, man. But the truth is, man, I've been listening to your show. I hate to say it because I love the Lakers, man. But to be honest, man, this team is pretty bad, man.
Oh, that's true. I mean, you speak facts.
You know,
we're barely getting by.
I mean,
we're barely getting by versus these mediocre teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts my heart. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but it has to be said.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, as far as the team goes, I mean, we need a big, and we need help, man. We need young players, and to be honest with you, there's some good players on the team, but very few, man. To be honest with you, I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Stanley Johnson, I believe that's his name. We should definitely keep him, man. We should find a way to sign him long term.
Right.
You know, I like Malik Monk as well, man. He's good. We got to keep him.
Okay. And LeBron and AD, right? Or who else you got?
Yeah, LeBron and AD. Yeah, I think AD was better.
What about Austin Reeves?
Oh, Austin Reeves. I love him, man. I love Austin Reeves. To be honest with you, I don't know why we're not utilizing Austin Reeves more, man. And to be honest with you, I was really upset when we lost Alex Caruso. I mean, I really wasn't dwelling on it, but I was upset about it.
Right.
But Austin Reeves reminds me a lot of Caruso, if not better, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I saw him play in Summer League, I was like, we might have something here, right? When I saw him ball out, he balled out in preseason as well. I knew we had something there, right? And then when he started doing it in the regular season, I think somebody said he was like 6th in taking charges defensively this year. From a rookie who gets limited minutes, that's huge. That tells you that defensively he sacrifices his body.
Dan, I got to be honest with you. With all due respect, man, I don't know why this kid, Austin Reeves, I mean, he's showing so much potential. I remember that game winner he hit in the Dallas game last month, man. It seems like a lifetime ago, but I remember that, man. And I mean, I was like, man, this kid has so much potential, man. And then, you know, the coach, man, he's not utilizing, Austin Reeves. I mean, what is going on, man?
Well, I mean, that's my biggest gripe with this coaching staff. I don't agree with their starting lineup and the rotations. I know like 90% of Laker fans don't either. And on top of that, his poor leadership qualities and inability to sell whatever he's selling, right, to this current roster. So that to me is more than enough to fire. Not to mention he hasn't lived up to the hype as far as how many wins we should have for all the talent we have and all of that. Right. So the culmination of things has me really shocked that he's still on this road trip right now. I thought he would have got fired after the Indiana Pacers loss. But now the fact that I'm hearing that, they're currently not looking to fire him, that makes me think he's going to stay. Unfortunately,
Dan, if my memory serves me correctly, I heard in your last show you mentioning that you wanted the coach to go, and I felt the same way, man. I was even laughing about it because like our brains think identical,
right?
But to be honest with you, man, this coach has to go, man.
Yeah,
this coach has to go, man. I mean, honest to God. I mean, I agree with what you said. I believe that you said, like thanks to the championship, but we need someone else. And I agree with you with that, man. I mean, this coach, he's not to blame for all the problems. It's like a family, a family is a unit, but a family, is a team, and they're going to have problems, but they're going to fix it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it's taking forever to fix, man.
It is
taking forever to fix, man.
This is the problem also with having a family problem is that when you have a family problem, you walking on eggshells, right? You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. And this is why I keep saying this, man, and I'm going to keep beating a dead horse on it. You don't mix business with pleasure. I would hope that the future coach we hire, whenever it is, whether it be this summer or now or whenever, Jeannie Buzz, please stay away from the coach. Don't make friends with him, please, because we can't have no attachment to business, That's it.
No, Jeannie Buzz is a sweetheart, man.
Yeah, she is.
To be honest with you, to be honest with you, man, this coach has to go, man. I mean, we won a championship. We won a championship, but maybe we need, like, you know, I don't know, like a defensive coach, you know, I mean, to yell at these players, man. You know what I mean? I mean, these players are getting
just somebody.
$1 million, man. What's going on?
When you have LeBron James, you don't need too much as far as coaching goes. But
LeBron needs help, man.
But
LeBron needs help.
What we do need as far as a coach is just the ability to command the locker room. That's the least we need. Anything else will be a bonus.
No, but Dan, LeBron needs help, man. Honestly.
Oh yeah, of course.
And AD, I don't know what's wrong with him, man. I love AD, man, but to be honest, this player's not the same, man. You know what I mean? Maybe because he got married or something, but this player's not the same, Dan. Well,
let's see how he returns, man. I'm gonna hold my judgment on him till he comes back from his injury, and hopefully he comes back a lot hungry because he hasn't had a great season by his standards.
And you know, Dan, me saying this, like I say, it hurts my heart. But I mean, at the end of the day, what needs to be said needs to be said.
Right, absolutely. I respect it
with the family. You know, it's something called tough love. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I respect the call, man. Hey, listen, I'm the same way. I always speak my mind, whether it hurts somebody's feelings or not. But we have to keep it 100, right?
Dan, on a side note, man, I heard that you were sick or something, man. I was very sad to hear that, man. I'm glad you're doing better, brother.
Appreciate that, brother. Yeah. I caught COVID. My girl caught COVID. My brother caught COVID. The whole family was
my cousin
sick.
got COVID, man. Actually, my cousin, he got it very early, and he recovered. Shout out to my cousin. You know, he knows who he is, man. And my other cousin, she caught it, man, and she's sick. So, you know, prayers up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, prayers up for everybody who's sick out there, man. We got to stay safe, wear your mask, all that good stuff, man, for sure. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call, man.
You know, it's already 2 years with this pandemic, man.
Right.
You know, whatever it is, everything got an end, man. And you know, I'm not getting political, man. I'm just saying, you know.
No, you're good. You're
we
good.
Gotta get somewhere with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Hey, God bless. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Take care. Good night, man.
You too, brother. Peace out. Yeah, listen, we've had one caller, and he made valid points that came in and said, you know, we need to ride this coach to the end of the season at least. I just can't agree with that because of everything that we already mentioned. We've mentioned over the last couple months. So somebody said way too much honesty in one call. I like it. He reminded me a little bit of Kuzma. Yeah, I remember when Kuz used to say, you know, but that's my guy, man. So I appreciate the call. It was a great call. But yeah, you guys are really petty in the comment section, man. I was trying not to laugh. You guys were typing some funny stuff over here. Listen, everybody expresses themselves differently, man, and I respect everybody who calls in because it's brave. You're voicing your opinion. You're subjecting yourself to criticism. I mean, but I'm used to it already. But everybody else, you know, this is new to everybody. So I'm sure as they continue to call, they'll get more fluent in their ability to express themselves. So I encourage everybody to keep calling. Don't listen to the criticisms, man. Hello, you on live? Hello, how you doing, brother? You on live with DTLF?
Hi, DTLF. This is Lakers N.
Oh, how you doing, brother? How you doing, my brother?
How's it going, man? Doing good, listening in. To a lot of good points with a lot of different callers have good points. And hold on, I don't know if you hear your echo. I have you on the TV.
Yeah, if you can lower it a little bit, that'd be great. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Well, I don't know. I just started thinking about how when we first got like all these good players like Russell Westbrook, AD, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, we wanted that good lineup. We're like, everyone's like, damn, when we have this lineup on the floor with all these superstars, Dwight Howard in there, it's gonna be amazing, you know. And now that we're facing reality, and in reality we see it that that's not how it is. You know, it's a total opposite. It's like they're not a great fit for each other. So I don't know if I don't want to say this, but I don't know if like fans also have like a bit of blame in this because we wanted like the big superstars out there, and I think it sold tickets for a while, but then when they started stinking it up, no one wanted to see that shit.
Well, listen, the fans never really have a blame on it unless they start trashing players, and that's not acceptable, right? Once you start going into their personal DMs and death threats, then I have a problem with fans. We fans are very passionate, and we want the best for our roster. I agree. When we saw this team here, we were like, wow, we saw the collection of talent, and we thought it could come together. However, there's multiple things here to your point that I think the reason it didn't work, and I'm going to go through them. Number one, again, the coaching, the rotations have been off, and the inability to command the locker room and demand greatness from those great players. Okay. Number two, Russell Westbrook has been a huge problem. His attitude and his me first ways have really costed us so many wins, and I think it has alienated a lot of the locker room. I'm no ESPN expert or nothing, but just based on what I see on TV, the chemistry seems to be a little foggy to me, especially compared to that 2020 championship team. And then number three is obviously we don't have enough size because Dwight Howard's the only playable big man right now, and AD is injured. So we should have had a security blanket, and DeAndre Jordan was another bad acquisition. Same thing with Bazemore, who's basically just dead weight on the roster. So we made a couple of mistakes this offseason. However, it's not really entirely the roster, and we see it when the Lakers play collective effort and they play the right rotations, like we did versus Utah. You see that it's not necessarily the roster. That's, to me, is a lazy standpoint of that's a lazy opinion to say, oh, it's all Rob Pelinka's fault and the roster's trash. Because, like you said, we were excited for the roster, so it can't be the roster. Listen, we have impressive players this season. LeBron James MVP season. Malik Monk stepping up big time. Carmelo has been great, especially at home. Dwight Howard's still a solid rim protector and defender when he's not in foul trouble. And Austin Reeves and Stanley Johnson. The list goes on. We have plenty of good pieces. They're just not being thrown into the pot at the same time. And it's like when you're a coach, you're a chef. You got to throw the right spices and blends together. And that way you can cook up a good meal, because if you throw some garbage in there, guess what? It's going to ruin the whole meal, And three mistakes, huge mistakes, coach has made with the rotations thus far. I already talked about them. I don't know if you heard. Trevor Reese is no longer starter material. Should have never started. Continues to start. DeAndre Jordan shouldn't even be in the NBA probably, yet he started for more than 10 games. And Ken Bazemore started, and he was atrocious. Not to mention, when we have had really, really good players balling out for us, like Stanley Johnson in the starting lineup or Malik Monk, he never sticks with what works. So all of these combination of points lets you know that, yes, the front office is partially at fault. The fan base is not at fault. We always want what's best for the team. Whether we're wrong or we're right, we want what's best. But the coaching staff, to me, takes 50% of the blame. Everybody else splits the rest of the blame. However you want to put the pie.
I hear you.
So that's my only point on that, brother.
Yeah, and even from the beginning of the preseason, like, I didn't see the hunger in them. They were like, I don't know if they took whose personality or whatever. Like, they were too cocky. I guess their egos were too inflated, and they haven't. I don't see that passion. Like when Kobe was around, when even when he won the championship, you could tell their hunger. You can't tell that here. It's like, and I know it's part of the losing, like, because they're in the slump, and of course you need to win to feed off that energy. But yeah, I from the preseason games, I was excited for it, but they was cut off for it. And
yeah,
I don't know if maybe changing the whole team, like just having something spark, so they can start playing motivated again.
Right.
I feel Frank Vogel, there's so much talent, he doesn't know what to do with it. Maybe, like you said, like the colors that he's on. He might stay for.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna have to cut you off right there because you're kind of cutting off. I don't know if it's the signal or what. Where are you calling them from, if you don't mind me asking? Bakersfield. Oh, okay. I don't know if you have good reception there because you're really cutting off. The last couple points I couldn't hear, so I'm gonna have to let you go right there. But thanks so much for the call. All right.
All right, no problem.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for the call portion of the segment of the show, man. I got to read some of these comments because I appreciate you guys for contributing. My boy said, disagree, the front office screwed us. Well, that's your opinion, man. My boy said, wish we would have gotten DeRozan. I don't think we had the cap space for DeMar DeRozan, to be honest with you, man. I think a lot of the reports out there are misleading. DeMar wasn't going to take 9.5 mid-level exception. He damn sure wasn't going to take the 5.4 mini mid-level exception. So people out here, it's obviously not going to be good enough because the way the roster is performing. But can we at least admit that we have enough talent to beat the mediocre teams that we have lost to this season, right? Because had we beat those, we would have been over 500 and maybe we're having a much different conversation. It's just that a lot of people are prisoners of the moment, and now they want to blame the front office because all of a sudden they're not performing properly. Trust me, a lot of it is chemistry. A lot of it is rotations. A lot of it A lot of it is coaching. This team just has to improve, whether it be via trades, coaching change, or anything. But it just has to happen. And if it doesn't happen now, the season will be lost, Laker Nation. That's my final point of the night, man. I'll read a couple more comments before I get off because I don't want to ignore you guys over here. He said, "Hey, Dan, it still irritates me every time Russ takes bad shots and hits the top of the backboard. Guy never learns. He's just never going to be a good shooter, man. His confidence is there, but I'm not sure at this point of his career that's a good thing or a bad thing because he's a little too confident about that jump shot. At times, it is a momentum killer, so I understand that comment for sure." He said, "Dan, I think the Lakers will make a move soon. I really hope so, Evan. And by the way, I appreciate your positivity, Evan. Thank you so much, brother." He said, "I think the office needs to get a little more credit. We got Avery Bradley just before the season and made a great signing in Stanley Johnson." That's what I'm saying, Alexander. Like, for me, they're still on strike one because the only bad move they have made in my eyes, like really, really bad move that shouldn't have happened and has kind of ruined our season, was Russell Westbrook. Everybody else, letting Alex Caruso go for THC, I would have did that if I was in the front office. Austin Reeves replenished whatever we lost with Alex Caruso, so we don't miss him, regardless of what anybody else tells you. Trading away Kuzma, the fans didn't want him anymore. I did, but a lot of fans didn't know how to appreciate his two-way prowess, his defensive abilities, and sometimes he would get hot when utilized properly. Sometimes he wouldn't be hot, to be honest with you guys. That's okay. His role was undefined, but people wanted him gone. Montrez wasn't being used. The only thing that hurt me the most to losing that trade was that first-round pick, because first-round picks are very valuable nowadays, and we shouldn't have got Westbrook because, like I said, the chemistry, everything, it messed up everything. He's a me-first guy. He continues to be a me-first guy. You don't believe me? Listen to the post-game interviews. It's all about him. It's all about him. Russ knows what Russ can do. He talks in third person. People that talk in third person are some of the most selfish pricks you will ever meet. That's just from personal experience. I know. Unless you're messing around or something, I mean, that's one thing. But when you're serious and you're talking third person, only Russ knows what Russ got to do and blah, 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 blah. Listen, shut up. How about you say the right thing for a change and say, I just want to help my team win? How about that? You know what I mean? So all that really frustrates me about him. I've lost full faith in him. He has one good game, 10 bad ones. And I'm not even exaggerating, guys. The turnovers have been down, but some of those shots are just as bad because they're momentum killers and he doesn't get back on defense. So till he gets on my good graces, this is just the way I feel about him. Angel said UFC live stream tomorrow. I will be busy. My brother actually will come to visit for the first time in over 2 months because we were sick and now we're healthier. So my brother's coming tonight. Shout out to him. But yeah, I will be busy, man. If not, I mean, he does love the UFC, so I wouldn't be shocked if he wants to tune in. We'll see what happens. Angel, appreciate you, bro. I hope they keep Stanley, Dan. I think it's a no-brainer. You have to keep Stanley Johnson. But I am happy for Stanley because Stanley wasn't even in the league, which shows you how weird the modern-day NBA is and how they focus primarily on offense, which isn't necessarily a good thing because in the playoffs, offense will only get you so far. Defense tends to be the key to championships. So this league is turned into such a weird place where, players that shouldn't even be in the league still have a job, while guys like Stanley Johnson are battling for 10-day contracts. I'll never get it. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Stanley, the Manly Johnson, definitely deserves to be on the Lakers. And if not us, some other team should pick him up. If they don't, I don't understand the logic there. But anyways, guys, it's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much, man. Another successful phone call Friday. So round of applause for you guys. Everybody who called, I commend you guys. I admire you guys and much love. And everybody who supported in the comment section and was positive, smash the like button, all that donations. I appreciate y'all as well, man. Have a great night. Keep my ear close to this is my time of the year to shine, man. Any trade happens, I come to you guys with the breaking news and the hot takes immediately. So you guys know where to find me. Make sure to sub if you already have it. Smash that post notification bell and be prepared because who knows? Anything can happen on any given moment. I love NBA trade deadline. So I'll see you guys real soon, hopefully. Have a great night. Peace out, Lakers.